Thank you for tuning into my presentation titled Advancing Your Career by Networking on LinkedIn. I designed this presentation with post-secondary students in mind. As social networking sites become increasingly popular, it is essential that individuals entering the workforce become familiar with them. I'd like to start by reviewing the main learning outcomes of this presentation. After listening to this presentation, you will be able to describe the importance of LinkedIn for networking purposes, explain how recommendations are useful for networking, explain how participating in groups is beneficial for networking on LinkedIn, and identify intentional connections on LinkedIn. My presentation includes the following 5 sections. I will begin with a brief overview of networking, followed by an introduction to LinkedIn. Then I will review 3 strategies for networking. I will end my presentation with a critical perspective on social networks and a summary of the presentation. Social networking sites are increasingly being used by companies and job seekers. There are a few key changes that have resulted from the introduction of these sites. Social media has eliminated barriers, transforming into a global recruitment process due to the ability to search big data quickly using automation. This enables job seekers more mobility, flexibility, and responsibility. Social media helps brand both the company and the candidate. Resumes are no longer enough to become the successful candidate. In order to be noticed by an organization, you must do something creative that will get you noticed. Furthermore, it is not enough to just create a profile. Users need to get involved on LinkedIn and actively network. LinkedIn is the largest professional networking and job search site with 350 million users. This site enables users to present and promote themselves professionally and expand their networks of other professionals. Recruiters are searching LinkedIn profiles for specific skill sets for job openings they know about and are looking to fill. After extensive research, I've established 3 strategies for effective use of LinkedIn for networking purposes. These 3 strategies will be covered in depth on the following slides. The first strategy is participating in LinkedIn groups by either joining an existing group or creating a group of your own. It is first important to note that the best groups to join are those related to your specific industry and within your geographical region. Joining the appropriate groups can result in a number of benefits. Groups may have a section where members can post jobs that are particularly relevant, thereby boosting your job search. Groups also contribute to your own brand. You can post questions or share content. Lastly, groups can also help you establish and maintain connections. You can meet valuable people in your field and engage in meaningful discussions with them. A key aspect of groups is that when you are part of the same group, you are able to email members directly, even if they aren't part of your network. This opens the lines to communication. Creating a group is another way to actively participate on LinkedIn. Creating a group is a great way to learn about a topic and build a professional and scholarly reputation quickly. The second strategy is acquiring and giving recommendations. Recommendations are testimonials that people provide for you and your work. There are a number of benefits associated with recommendations. When you give recommendations, people, potentially recruiters, get a sense of your writing style and skills. More importantly, giving recommendations help you keep strong connections with people in your network. A number of sources have confirmed that recommendations are used by recruiters. Recommendations are an opportunity to build your brand. Use them to draw attention to yourself and differentiate yourself from others. In order to receive recommendations, you will likely need to ask people such as coworkers, peers, or supervisors for recommendations. Remember that you want these from individuals who are respected and would have positive feedback on you. When you approach an individual to ask for a recommendation, it is key to let them know your intention and give them an idea of what you'd like them to include in the recommendation. Specific content is essential. Highlight your achievements and include quantities when possible. Reciprocity is essential on LinkedIn. If you ask for a testimonial, provide a testimonial in return. This seems to be appreciated. The third strategy is creating intentional connections on LinkedIn. When thinking about intentional connections, it is important to recognize the difference between strong and weak ties. Strong ties refer to individuals one interacts with often, for example, coworkers or peers. Weak ties refer to less frequent interactions, individuals in other geographical regions, job positions, and companies. Weak ties are important for a number of reasons. Weak ties are crucial in bonding groups of strong ties together. Additionally, weak ties ensure the flow of information between different networks. Maintaining your weak ties can be beneficial. In fact, research suggests that the majority of job help comes from these weak ties. An example of a weak tie to consider is an individual's alumni network. It can be beneficial to search for individuals who are working in your field who also attended the same college. Of course, it is crucial to connect with strong ties on LinkedIn. However, putting in the time to connect with weak ties is likely to have a positive impact on networking. In my research on social networking sites, it occurred to me that social media may not be appropriate for every type of career position. It has been suggested that students who wish to join certain professions may be cautioned against using social networking sites. For example, students looking into certain government positions or students interested in pursuing medical school. It is important to be aware of your future career goals and evaluate whether or not LinkedIn would be appropriate. In summary, let's review a few key points from the presentation. How we network is evolving rapidly. LinkedIn is a professional social networking site that can be helpful in establishing and maintaining connections. It is essential to be active on LinkedIn by participating in groups, giving and receiving recommendations, and building intentional